Hi, we're Doug and Mary, a retired couple from Montana, traveling through Alaska and Canada, and camping in our converted Toyota Sienna van. Last time, we explored as much of Prince Edward Island as we could before deciding to retreat west to avoid the advance of Hurricane Fiona. We found a B&B in Fredericton, New Brunswick for a couple nights. That decision proved to be a good one, as the hurricane hit the Atlantic provinces extremely hard, becoming the worst storm in Canadian history.
We spent the next day in Fredericton exploring downtown, visiting a farmer's market and a microbrewery. Watching the news carefully, we learned that we wouldn't be able to return to PEI anytime soon, and finishing our eastward travel plans to Newfoundland would be shelved too. However, while many parts of Nova Scotia lacked power, the southern end was relatively unscathed by the hurricane, so we made plans to get there, and the ferry seemed to offer the least backtracking and the most adventure.
The quickest way between 2 points is probably a main highway. That's why we take the backroads. More to see and more surprises, like small towns and covered bridges.
St. John is New Brunswick's third largest city, depending on how you measure it, and Canada's oldest incorporated city, dating back to 1785. It has a large and busy port, but also boasts numerous parks and trails, a moderate climate, and is considered Canada's most affordable city.
This was the first ferry crossing to Nova Scotia since the ferry resumed following the hurricane. The crossing took about 2 hours and it was very windy.
Back there's the board tide we just crossed the top of it.
There was little evidence of hurricane damage in southwestern Nova Scotia. The power was on everywhere we went, and shops were open, but most of the rivers were running pretty murky.
This is last night's camp spot, and it's I think it's called Foster Lake, little tiny lake, and we're the only one on it. Dead end road here, and look at this, kind of a cool jigsaw puzzle right there. Little road coming in, a little spot here, and there's another little spot just farther up, and then there's this. Looks like it's some sort of water intake, maybe for municipal water supply or some farm or something like that. Raining right now, but this is the little lake. Kind of rained on and off all night long. Great spot, quiet, tranquil. Ducks on the lake this morning. A cool, rainy morning seems like a good time to spend in a local library and get caught up on emails and downloads. This one in Kentville was located in a beautiful former church.
Signs for Nova Scotia 359, Nova Scotia 1, trunk west, then turn left onto Cornwallis Street.
It seems like we saw roadside fruit stands around every corner.
The town of Wolfville was settled by the French in the mid-1600s, and its population nearly doubles when school is in session at Acadia University. The young population ensures a good supply of coffee shops, theaters, and pubs. We found a great microbrewery in an old church.
Oh, it's perfect with Nova Scotia's flag.
Who can resist a beer with a name like Bible School Dropout?
It's looking out over the Bay of Fundy, and down below are mostly apple orchards, although there's pear and other things down there too. We found a nice provincial park, but it was closed. All the parks were closed pending evaluation for damage done by the hurricane, so we moved on to our second choice for the night. We didn't have the beach entirely to ourselves, but our neighbors were friendly and quiet, and the sunset was amazing. But when we got here last night, the water was about half that far out, and now it's way the heck out there. That's like more than a quarter of a mile. That's probably a half a mile out to the point. This morning people are coming. Brought their dogs. Dogs love beaches. They get out of the car, they see the beach, and they go crazy. Tear all out and chase birds and run on the beach. It must be fun to be a dog. What you doing?
Picking up somebody else's garbage.
We do a lot of that, don't we?
Do. And it's too bad because some of this was done by the locals last night.
Yeah.
We had wanted to see the Maritime Museum of the Atlantic in Halifax, but we decided that the detours, road construction, lack of parking, and increasing downpours were an indication that we should stick to our strategy of avoiding large cities. We eventually found our way out of the city and headed down the coast.
The town of Lunenburg is designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is known for its colorful homes and architecture from the 18th and 19th centuries. We had a great time exploring shops, cafes, and even found a distillery. And this is our view tonight. Looks like the tide is coming in. And it's foggy over there on the other side of this little bay. Pretty little houses. This whole area has just been gorgeous from all the way up this side of the... Those are seals. There's seals coming in. I see 4 of them over there. Oh my gosh, I better go tell Mary. Anyway, this is where we're camped, up the hill here. We got the place to ourselves tonight. Quite a bit more foggy this morning, but the little bay here is, the cove they called it, is full of seals. According to one of the locals that just walked by with her dog, they come in here when the shark activity is bad farther out, so they get some shelter here, but they never come up to rest on the beach, she said. You can see them sticking their little heads up. Probably seen 15 or 20 so far, just in the last 10 minutes or so. Stick their heads up and they look around, and then they go back down. they washed up there with the waves.
Yarmouth was the location where we would catch the high-speed cat ferry in the morning. We arrived in town with plenty of time to have a pizza and check out the local microbrewery before finding our boondocking spot for the night.
That's our ferry for tomorrow morning. It's already at the pier here. And we're parked in a spot that we might get kicked out of. I don't know. It doesn't say no parking. It doesn't say no overnight camping. Who knows? We're supposed to be at the ferry tomorrow at 7, so well, we're here tonight at 7. But it's a beautiful evening. There's a few other boats parked in here. And that's where we'll stop for today. Next time, we head west into Maine, and we question whether we really should have stayed in Canada.
Thanks for watching.